In the year 2241, the city never slept. Towers of glass reached into the clouds. Holograms painted the night in blue and gold. Millions of people moved through its streets every hour of every day, talking, rushing, searching for things they could not name. Among them walked a woman no one could see. Her name was Sarah. She had died at 31, quietly, on an ordinary morning, and had spent the 70 years since trying to understand why she was still here. Then one Tuesday evening, a man named Eli sat down on a bench and began to cry. And she understood. Eli had lost something that could not be found in a drawer or recovered from a backup drive. He had lost his daughter's laugh. Not a recording, though those existed. Not a memory, exactly, though he replayed it every night. The specific sound, the one that used to fill the apartment on Saturday mornings before everything changed. He couldn't find it anywhere. Sarah could. She moved through the walls of the city's vast data network, through forgotten servers and archived files, and the digital leftovers of lives that had moved on, until she found it. A 17-second video, buried in a cloud partition nobody had accessed in 11 years. She guided him there in the way ghosts guide people, not with words, but with a feeling, a pull, an inexplicable certainty. He found the file at 2 a.m. He wept for an hour. It was the best hour he had experienced in years. After Eli, there were others. Sarah discovered, with growing wonder, that people lost far more than objects. A woman in her 80s had lost the feeling of her mother's hands. Not the memory of them, the feeling. The specific warmth and weight of hands that had held her before the world got complicated. Sarah found it for her in the muscle memory of an old song the woman had forgotten she knew. When she played it, her hands remembered. She held them up and wept. A boy of 9 had lost the name of the street where he was born. Sarah traced it through 18 layers of city records and whispered it into his dream on a Tuesday night. He woke up and wrote it on his arm before he could forget again. An old man had lost the moment he first felt brave. Sarah found it, returned it. He stood taller for the rest of his life.
No one ever thought to ask what Sarah herself had lost. Perhaps because they couldn't see her. Perhaps because grief makes us look inward before we look outward. But the truth was simple. She had lost tomorrow. Every tomorrow she was supposed to have. The mornings she was meant to wake up to. The person she was going to become. The things she might have built or written or said to someone who needed to hear them. All of it gone on an ordinary Tuesday at 31 years old. And yet, when she guided Eli to that file, when she felt him weep and felt something in her that she could only describe as warmth,
She understood something that no philosophy book had ever quite managed to say in the right way. Giving is not what you do after you have lived your life. It is how you live it.
On her last day, a child found her. Not metaphorically, literally. A girl of 6, sitting on a step in a city park, looked up at the space where Sarah stood and said, "What did you lose?" Sarah had never been asked. She was quiet for a long time, longer than 6-year-olds usually allow. Then she smiled and said, "Nothing, it turns out." The girl considered this with the seriousness that only children bring to truly important questions. How come? Sarah knelt in front of her. Because everything I was supposed to give, I gave. The girl nodded, as if that was exactly the right answer. And Sarah, slowly, gently, like a light that has finally found its way to the window, let go. Here is what her story means. You do not need a tomorrow to matter today. You need only to look at the person beside you, the one who is searching for something they cannot name, and give them whatever it is you have left to give.